just before we started the podcast, we were chatting and you were talking about how both of us having highs and lows in our career. And I was thinking, I know what you're talking about, Tom, but no one thinks that about you. I think you have the career.
Well, let me just, I printed up my IMDb.
Okay.
Now, you notice I'm almost to 100 films here, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting up there, but I'm going to say.
Really crinkly paper.
I'm going to say, well, coming out of the printer. I'm going to say, see it out all these. I'm going to say 6 of these are pretty damn good. The rest of them are checkered.
No.
It's all a checkered career.
Well, no one here is buying it. Nobody's thinking about the time when you were down and out because I don't think it exists. I don't think that's ever existed.
Oh, well, okay. First of all, everybody wakes up at 3:00 in the morning, sometimes splashes cold water on their face and asks this question of the zeitgeist: what is happening to me? Why can't I rest? Why am I tormented and haunted? Yet again.
That's your mattress, I think. Yeah.
But, okay. Look, without a doubt, I really dig my job, and I go into everything with an insane amount of enthusiasm and faith in the
famously so,
faith in the collaborative process. And it is I don't want to overuse sports analogy, but it really is the baseball analogy. Ted Williams hit 400 for one season of his baseball career. And that's about the best you can do. If you're somewhere between 282 and, 3 something, that they will put you in the Hall of Fame. And the thing that there is nobody starts a movie and says one of these two things. This ain't going to work. No one says that on the 3rd day of shooting.
Right.
We have made a terrible mistake. None of this is actually things. All these people that are getting paid are liars. They are no one says this.
Right.
Nor does anybody say on the 3rd day of shooting, we're in clover, boys.
Well, that's because it's not 1940. This thing's aces, fellas.
Hold on to your quarters, Jasper. No one says this. Roger Spottiswoode, who is about as facile a filmmaker as we were shooting Turner and Hooch, and this was back when I really put an import on the reports. You wanted how's it going? Great. Oh, we saw this and it was great and that was great and everything's great. How about that scene and how that was it? And Roger Spottiswoode came back from looking at dailies one day at lunch. And I said, Roger is English. And I said, hey, how were the dailies? And he said, they were not half bad. And that's all you can shoot for. How was it? Well, I don't know. Maybe I hope it'll cut. That's all you can hope for. And so at the end of the day, the thing that is now an advantage of is I talk about this sometimes with people who are as old as I am. We got into this. I'm going to tell you a story about technology. Speaking of 1-inch VHS cassettes, in between the 2 years of the bosom buds, the VHS machine was invented. The first season was in 1980, and in 1981, you could go to Mad Muntz's or something, and for $4,000 buy a video cassette machine, right? Mm-hmm. And that altered absolutely everything. So as of episode 22. Of Kip and Hendry's adventures in Bosom Buddies, everything has since been rentalable, and it sits there forever. So I have had and now, of course, you can watch a movie any damn time you want to. I can't tell you how often I've been somewhere, and someone will come up to me and say, excuse me, Mr. Hanks? Yeah, oh, hi, how are you? I just want to say, your films have always been a great salvage for me. I've really enjoyed many times. I've turned to you, and I was home at one point and came across and saw a film that you made in 1993 that really, really spoke to me. You played a Air Force pilot in World War II in Israel, and I had never heard of the film before. I didn't know it existed, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I said, oh, that movie was called Every Time We Say Goodbye. It was directed by Moshe Mizrahi, and I made it for about 8 weeks in Jerusalem long before the Intifada began. Very good, sir. And I also enjoyed Toy Story very, very much. So all of this stuff lives. All of this stuff lives. And now what happened is that time has become one of the metrics for how these things matter, right?
Yes.
In the day, I mean, look, it was just a fist fight. It was every movie that came out. Are you going to make the playoffs or not? And guess what? No, kid. You're 2-12 and you ain't going nowhere. Or you got a shot. It used to be you had these Rubicons that you crossed when you came down. First of all, do you love it or not? That's the first thing. Hey, I read this thing. I love it. I can't get it in my head. Yes. Okay. You have crossed the Rubicon, right? The next Rubicon you cross is when the movie is completely done, a year and a half later, and you see it for the first time. And you might like it, or it doesn't matter if it works or not. You look at it and say, hey, I think we acquitted ourselves pretty good. That's Rubicon number 2. Then the critics weigh in, Rubicon number 3, and that's always up, down. We hate it. We like it. This is the worst thing. Oh, hey. Oh, hi, Tom. I saw you in a movie. Oh, did you? Yeah. It was cute.
Yeah.
That's when you ask the wife, hey, honey, could you take the revolver out of the glove box and hide it somewhere? Because I think...
this is Saving Private Ryan. I think is cute.
And so then this other thing is how it does at the BO, how it does at the box office with a bona fide. Then a ton of time goes by when none of that stuff matters anymore, and the movie just exists exactly as it is, outside of loser-winner status, thumbs up, thumbs down. And that's when this stuff comes around, where it's like that this thing that didn't work back then kind of does work now, or just the opposite. A thing that was huge back then is a museum piece and doesn't really speak to anything.
That Thing You Do.
Oh, yeah.
You were disappointed when it came out, and it has this whole other life now.
It is
this cult classic. Okay. But that's an example of...
Let me tell you something about these cocksuckers who write about movies. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a podcast.
My father writes about movies. And his name is Cocksucker. Somebody
who wrote about it is that this is just, Tom Hanks has to stop hanging around with veterans of TV because this is just like the shot on TV and it's not much of anything, Mm-hmm. That same person then wrote about the cult classic, That Thing You Do. Same exact person. It's all you need is 20 years between now and then, and it ends up speaking somewhere. But that's the thing we all signed up for. That's the carnival. That's the contest. Right?